Welcome to Freaky Fauna Friday, where every Friday we take a little time and explore some of the freaks of nature from around the planet we cherish so deeply. So please, jump aboard and let's explore the wilds together. Hey guys, welcome back to Freaky Fauna Friday. I am the great and powerful Mystery.
And I'm Jay. Feels good to be back.
Feels good. Today, we're going to cover one of my favorite animals from the past, or a group of animals from the past. Our ancient ancestors, the Gorgonopsids.
Are these related to Arthur, King of the Gorgonites?
No.
From Toy Soldiers?
No.
Or Small Soldiers?
No.
It's one of those, right? Small Soldiers. You know that movie, right?
I know the movie. I'm trying to think of the... Anyways.
Oh.
Gorgonopsids.
Gorgonopsids on a Friday.
Have you ever seen a Gorgonopsid?
No.
Why don't you look up a picture of one?
Gorgonopsid?
Imagine like if a cat in a listro from Ark had a baby.
Gorgonopsid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Ew. It's like a saber-toothed cat mixed with a...
With a lizard?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, so these are all... Oh, okay. So they're in the kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordate, class, ready for this?
Yeah?
Synapsidae.
Ooh, a synapsid.
But they're in the order Thorapsidae.
What's that mean?
They're Thorapsids.
Oh, okay.
Synapsids and Thorapsids.
Sounds like a nice band.
Yeah, these guys were, at one time, the biggest apex predator on land.
How do they know they look like that? How do they know it just wasn't a big cat?
It depends on which artist you go with. But there's plenty of versions of them. Like now, most saber-toothed cats, most paleontologists agree that they probably didn't have their teeth exposed.
Oh, they were inside.
Yeah, they were in sleeves and their gums and stuff like that. Because we have some larger cats today that have those sleeves still.
Yeah,
like in the Leo family, so lions and tigers and stuff. Panthera, I think is what it's actually called.
Pantera?
No, Panthera.
Oh, okay.
The panther family, which is most of the really big cats fall into that family.
Okay.
So these guys, in my opinion, probably right now are falling. They're really old. They were discovered in 1890.
Oh, that's when they found the first fossil?
Yeah.
That's
so they're
recent.
kind of falling into that mindset of everything looked like a skin wrap lizard.
Yeah.
But these guys had whiskers and facial hair and small pieces of hair on their body.
So they might not be as portrayed by the artists.
Yes.
Okay.
I think they much more looked... They still probably... They're part of that old family group, the Thanapsids, that had some reptile traits and had some mammal traits.
Okay.
So these guys probably looked about halfway in between, but I think they were much more bulkier than they're portrayed.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Because a lot of the land predator or land prey animals they were hunting were giant armored tank like turtle things and stuff like that.
So they had to breach that shell, huh?
And that's what the long teeth were for. Was probably getting at their neck. Like a lot of them had frills and stuff like that. So it was just to pierce through to get enough, to bite something hard enough to kill them.
Right, yeah. As most predators do.
Right. And like you see that with a lot of these like saber-toothed cats, why they went extinct, most likely, is the big prey animals went extinct. Their giant teeth were to sever, everything from the trachea to, the jugular and the neck. But these animals had giant necks. They had something to pierce. Once those guys went out the window, a saber-toothed tiger would probably have a very rough time catching a deer, like a white-tailed deer.
Yeah.
They're very small and fast. Saber-toothed tigers weren't built for speed. They were built to wrestle with, things bigger than bison.
Okay.
And so these guys were about the same thing, just much older.
So it's like wrestling meat, huh?
Mm-hmm. Gorgonopsids were Thorapsids, a group of tetrapods, which eventually gave rise to the mammals.
Ah, here we are.
So Gorgonopsids were a successful group that lived during the Permian period, about 260 million years ago.
That's quite a long time ago.
Yes. They became extinct in the Permian-Triassic extinction event.
Okay.
So this is mammals ruled, or the pseudo-mammals ruled, before dinosaurs. Then the Permian-Triassic extinction event, dinosaurs took hold.
Okay. And then the famous dinosaur extinction, and then mammals came back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's flip-floppy. And like I said, Gorgonopsids aren't true mammals. They're reptile mammals, but their family group would what became mammals.
Gotcha.
Any questions so far?
I know. Well, I mean, yes, but all this history stuff is just it's hard to believe sometimes.
I mean, you can argue dates. It doesn't matter to me.
Right, yeah.
It's just
doesn't matter.
They lived during the Permian period. However long ago you want to say the Permian period was.
As long as the bones are real, the fossils are real, then I'm on board.
So they were the major predators of their day.
Okay.
As far as we know, they were some of the biggest land predators that existed, and they were definitely the most active. The next biggest guy was a pseudo crocodile that roamed the land, like a big monitor lizard kind of thing.
Colosuchus?
No, wait, that was during the dinosaurs.
Oh, okay. Getting my timelines off.
Colosuchus, was that what you're trying to say?
I don't even remember what I said.
I don't know. I don't know. Colosuchus was an amphibian.
Oh, okay.
But no, there was a giant terrestrial like crocodile that kind of took the, like Komodo dragon's niche during the Permian.
Okay.
So they weren't like extremely active predators, but they were big and kind of bulky, slow.
Yeah.
Gorgonopsids were extremely fast, active predators.
See, like, how do they know that?
Just from their skeletal and their muscle structure.
All right.
Like you look, for example, a lot of these guys, you look at where their muscle attached and you can kind of tell how much room and you get estimates off of that.
Okay.
A lot of it's comparing modern day animals to prehistoric. So you see these kind of traits.
Now.
You kind of can put that as a behavior back then.
Right, yeah.
Like I said, these guys are very similar to the big cats.
Gotcha.
Kind of, mix between big cat and a dog. But they got big.
Like a hyena. It's like a big hyena.
They were extremely large, powerful, square-shaped jaws. So their jaws were big blocks made for extreme biting pressure and shearing motions.
Like a chow?
A lot bigger.
Oh, okay.
Kind of probably like a short-faced bear.
Okay, that's quite bigger.
Yeah. And they did have saber-like canines and incisors and socket-like teeth. Many fossils have been found in South Africa. The largest known, here's a fun name for you, Intro Carve, is the size of an extremely large bear.
Like a short-faced bear?
Yeah. The skull's 45 centimeters long, 12 centimeter short, or 12 centimeter long saber teeth. So that was a much bulkier, shorter faced animal.
Yeah.
But they did have some of these guys had extremely long snouts as well.
Snouts, yeah.
A bunch of species.
Wonder if bears maybe at some point could have come from these, right?
I think all mammals came from these.
Okay, duh. Never mind then.
So yes.
Yes, I was
right.
right.
So did manatees.
Oh, yeah. When we know what those are.
Manatees are Bigfoot. The Gorgonopsids are divided up into 3 subfamilies. The rubigae, which had extremely large, broad skulls. So these are probably the most famous group. When you type in Gorgonopsid, that's probably what you're going to pop up.
Okay.
They're the big, apex predators, the giant skulls. They're made for crushing and killing. The Gorgonopsian, which included the most of the Gorgonopsi in the genre, and the intro of Thurskaye. There you go.
Yeah. I got that loud and clear.
And there's been discovered about 29 species of these guys.
Okay.
So they took a lot of niches. They were everything from, these small cat-like predators to the more famous, large bear-sized Gorgonopsids, being 1,500 pounds.
That's crazy. They found that many fossils to find that many different species of them.
Well, and all of these guys come from the end of the extinction event.
Yeah.
So we have a big layer of all of the bones from this era. So we get a pretty good idea of the number of species and stuff like that from this specific extinction event.
Okay.
Because everybody died so fast
that
we get layers of Gorgonopsids and their prey animals. These guys are also known as the reptile-like or the mammal-like reptiles.
Okay.
So they would fall more closely to reptiles, but they are starting to get those mammalian traits. Like we talked about hair and
a true synapsid.
Yes. They may have not been fully warm-blooded yet, but they may have been in between.
Okay.
They had extremely large eye sockets, which points to more either binocular vision and nocturnal vision.
So night hunters.
Yes, which would have pointed for a reptile that they would have either been partially warm-blooded, which there are some animals today that are a mix of warm and cold-blooded, or they would have been fully warm-blooded. This is an argued point.
Okay.
Because if they're taking advantage of hunting at night, that's not normally a reptilian thing.
Right, yeah.
Because they're powered, by the sun. They're regulating their body temperature from the sun. So these guys probably were somewhere in the middle. Most scientists agree. I kind of feel that they were probably more closely warm-blooded because they already had a lot of these mammal-like traits.
Yeah.
But, we don't know. Nobody was there.
Who knows?
If you ever watched the show Primeval, there was a Gorgonopsid that popped up a lot. That's the one with portals and time. So animals from the past or animals from the future came.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
But Gorgonopsid was a show favorite. It kept coming back because it was just this big, scary monster, and it looks like a movie monster.
Okay.
And it ended up winning in the end because it killed the future beast.
The future beast?
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Bats evolved to be like lions.
Okay, now that's scary.
Mhm. And then it fought a Gorgonopsid and lost.
So the Gorgonopsid won.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
good.
the past is a lot scarier.
Well, it's, I don't know.
I
Probably
mean,
was.
We don't have animals walking on land the size of grain elevators currently.
I know, unfortunately. We should bring them back.
I'd bring them back.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Just
saddle
wreak
one up.
havoc.
It's like a big giraffe.
Any questions so far?
No, not yet.
I mean, any at all?
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I'm learning about I never knew this existed before, so.
These animals are really overlooked in the public eye because, they fall right before the dinosaurs. So they were the biggest, baddest things on land as far as we know,
Until the dinos.
until the
took over.
dinos. So dinosaurs were actually evolving at the same time as these guys, but they were the little tiny lizards.
Gotcha.
So dinosaurs come from the same. So dinosaurs, pterosaurs, and crocodiles and birds all come from the other group that was evolving at this time.
Okay.
The stuff like monitor lizards and turtle ancestors had already separated from the main branches of reptiles.
Made their own little
Yeah.
path, yeah.
So at the end of the Permian Triassic extinction event, all the players were out there, which is kind of neat when you look at this extinction event.
Mhm.
And the Gorgonopsids got the short end of the stick.
Why is that, though?
Because most of them were big specialized predators.
Okay.
So speciation.
So they got out-niched?
Yeah. So here's the thing with mass extinction events. The things that survive are opportunistic generalist feeders.
Okay.
So the guys that don't have a niche, they kind of are just hanging out. They're normally in healthy environments. They're doing very poorly because everybody's specialized.
Right.
During a mass extinction event, they're the guys that survive because whatever's left,
They already know.
they're going to eat.
Yeah, they already know how to do
They
that.
can live in all these environments. So Gorgonopsids are almost all specialized. There was even a couple that were nest raiders that were very specialized and they were eating other animals' eggs. It's what their main portion of their diet.
Gotcha.
So when all the big the big reptiles and stuff died out, not a lot of big reptile eggs to eat. So these
makes
little
sense.
tiny, more mammal-like creatures survived.
Right.
The same with the monitor lizards, same with the turtle ancestors, same with the dinosaur ancestors, because dinosaur ancestors were very small at this time. And then pseudo-crocodilians. So crocodilians have been around for a while.
So what's a pseudocroc?
Same thing like these Gorgonopsids were pre-mammals.
Yeah.
A pseudo-crocodilian was not technically a crocodile family member, but is the building blocks to that family.
Okay.
So they're not fully yet a crocodile.
It's
It's
just the base.
crocodilomorphs.
Crocodilomorph? That sounds like a cartoon show.
Yeah, that's I think the actual term for it.
Okay.
So they look, and there was even there was things that were mistaken, like Coolosuchus you brought up.
yeah.
It was a giant amphibian that suchus basically means crocodile,
Yeah.
and they thought it was a crocodile.
But it was a salamander,
Yeah,
wasn't
it was a 22-foot long salamander, and those guys survived too. And that's something we don't talk about a lot. Maybe Coolosuchus will come. Is it giant salamanders? I mean giant salamanders, not the 6-7 footers we got today, like
No.
25-foot great white shark sized
Yeah.
salamanders.
I've seen some of the fossils they dug up.
Survived through every mass extinction, apparently except the Jurassic or the Triassic,
Maybe.
the Cretaceous.
They
Oh
might
my
s-
gosh,
yeah.
I'll get there. The Cretaceous extinction
Keep
event.
naming them off. You'll get to it. They might still be out there. They might still be out there living.
Yeah, I think there's probably a couple populations still left because even Coolosuchus during its day was not in high number.
Okay.
They lived extremely long times.
Yeah. Solitary.
Yeah. So we can look at these guys. They have a lot of, like I said, the only information we really know them is from their fossils and putting kind of big cat behaviors on them because they're so similar to big cats.
With the big canines and
Yeah.
whatnot. Yeah.
I mean, their shoulder design and all kinds of stuff. Like they look like big cats. They're probably their closest living day like analog would be a lion.
I don't know. I think the hyena's more fitting.
It could be. I doubt it.
Square head or jaw or bite
The
force.
Nundy bear.
There we go. That's what these are.
Mm-hmm.
The Nundy bear could be this. Think about
The
it.
Nundy bear could be this.
Think about it. Gorgonopsid still alive.
So, any questions about the Gorgie?
No, it's pretty interesting animal.
We should bring these back, hybridize them with corgis, so we can call them Gorgies, and have them as little pets.
Gorgonopsids?
And just call them a Gorgie.
A Gorky? Gorgie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Got giant heads and little bodies.
And tiny, short legs.
Mm-hmm. They can't run. That's been the Gorgonopsid. One of my favorite and not very well talked about animals.
It's because their name's too long. If they had like a cuter, like short
I
name.
think Gorgonopsid is a cool name, especially for like young kids.
It's a cool name, but it's long.
Gorgonopsid?
Yeah, it's just
Have
weird.
you heard some dinosaur names?
Well, these are dinosaurs.
These aren't dinosaurs, but
yeah. I mean, it's not a T-Rex. That's why T-Rex is so old.
Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, but
Reximus.
Yeah, but people don't call them that. They just T-Rex. It's easy. That's why. Raptor. It's easy.
See, a raptor.
Gorgonopsid. Try getting a 5-year-old to repeat that over and over.
Do you want their actual name?
Sure.
Dinogorgon is one of the species.
See, now that sounds cool. That sounds like a wrestler.
And these guys were much more reptilian. So when most of the Gorgonopsids looked more mammal, this guy still had a lot of reptilian traits.
See, I want a Dino Gorgon.
Let's see. Let me find some other guys. Oh, here's one for you. Dinogorgon Cunicuri moralis.
No, right. Yeah, this is just getting too much.
That's the. Oh, there's even a longer one.
No, let's leave it at that.
Rafungi Wukapiganagi Chenga Shuraganis.
Yeah, nobody's getting anything
Every
out of
letter was used in the alphabet in that name.
I bet. It sounded like
Plus
it was.
2 that I don't know.
It's a Russian alphabet in there, too.
Had to get them in there. There's a pound sign in the middle of it. All right. I've been the great and powerful mystery.
And I've been Jay.
What's your words of wisdom for the week?
It's getting colder out, so remember to bundle up when you go outside and get some hot cocoa and enjoy a nice, brisk, cool evening and that fresh, cold air. It's good for you if you live in that kind of environment. If you live in Florida, well, enjoy a nice, warm breeze.
Sucks to suck.
Or that, too.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Freaky Fauna Friday. If you want to help the podcast grow, remember to share and give it a 5-star review.